Test 1, 2. Good evening, welcome.
Try that, test,
Test 1, 2.
better.
Yep.
They had the swearing in earlier, there was a lot of people that cranked it up.
I'm loud anyways, but. Good evening, welcome to the Revere Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Could we rise and salute the flag, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of the members, Mr. Lemonna? Here. Mr. Lopes? Here. Mr. O'Brien? Here. Mr. Pelton? Here. Ms. Pratt, alternate member? Here. And Chairman Tucker?
Here.
Here, quorum is present. First application on tonight's agenda is A2510, on the application of Edward Davis, 225 Endicott Ave, Revere, Mass., requesting multiple variances to enable the appellant to construct a three-car garage at 225 Endicott Ave.
Could the applicant please step up to the microphone, press the button once, state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Ted Davis of 225 Endicott Ave in Revere, Mass.
Okay, so we have an application in front of us with a filing of our opposition letter of rebuttal at the end. Do you have anything else to say, or does that speak for itself?
Sorry. The letter just speaks to all of the issues that are raised in the opposition letter, to which most of them, frankly, were not true, and I don't think were sincere in nature. But the letter states everything. I'm happy to answer any questions or go through it all if people haven't had a chance to read it. Frankly, simply, my house is surrounded by other homes with curb cuts and garages. I'm just looking for what the other homes in my neighborhood have. A large majority of the homes have curb cuts. Over 8 properties close to my house have 40-foot curb cuts. The reason I requested a 30-foot curb cut is because it still provides spots on either side of the garage in between the curb cuts for cars to park. So it only eliminates one car or one street parking spot and pulls three cars off the street. There's approximately 70 feet curb cut to curb cut. I'm requesting about a 30-foot curb cut, which leaves two 20-foot spots or 18-foot spots on either side of the garage for street parking. So in proceeding with the garage, I pull 3 cars off of the street, only removing 1 street parking spot and leaving 2 spots for street parking. So it adds 2 spots of parking to the neighborhood. My home is a 3-family home. There are 3 cars currently registered at the house. My in-laws who come to watch the kids visit us all the time. I've been wanting a garage for a while. The reason I really went for it this year is because we have 2 kids now, so lugging all the stuff up and down the stairs for my house is challenging. In addition, my in-laws who come to take care of the kids a lot are restricted by the 8-day parking access per month. So I'm really trying to get a spot for them to park off the street. Plus, my father-in-law has a bad knee. So we end up having to park on Bellingham quite often, which is a challenge. Fortunately, our neighbor lives behind me, so he lets me cut through his yard. Otherwise, I'd have to walk several blocks to get around. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm not looking to do anything other than what's very common in the neighborhood. I get the 3-car garage isn't typical. Most of them are 2-car garages, are just 40-foot curb cuts with driveways. The salt, parking in front of my house, when I do get parking, the cars start deteriorating from all the the salt water and air, so I'm trying to get the cars out of the weather. So that's really why I want the garage. Plus, it'll make it easier for the kids' stuff. Instead of lugging it up from the car to the house, it'd be easier to leave some of the strollers and chairs in the garage.
Could you take that outside, please? Okay.
Right.
Seeing that this is a public hearing, I have to... Test 1, 2. Seeing that this is a public hearing, I have to ask if there are any proponents. And first, I'll ask if the ward councilor wishes to speak. Please step up to the microphone. Are you a proponent or an opponent?
Opponent.
All right, then I first have to ask for proponents then. Is there anyone in favor?
Yes, Nick Dare, 228 Bellingham Ave. Thank you, zoning board members. I'm here in support of this. I've been neighbors with them for 3 years. They're tremendous neighbors. And over these 3 years, I've watched Ted and Sam start a family of their own. You know, you don't really feel for the young couple without kids going up and down the stairs or looking for parking. But over these last 3 years, now watching them, Sam be pregnant twice, parking in our driveway when she's lucky, when it's not blocked, or worst case scenario, parking down the street or a block away, bringing up groceries and all that, while seeing their immediate abutters have similar curb cuts. Meanwhile, they'd park in front of their driveway, and it's just something that I know would bring, or would remove a huge hurdle in their lives, and I'd hate to see them move. So of course I want to see them here for a while. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Oh, just leave the microphone on and that's it. Good.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Crossgrove. I live at 218 Bellingham Ave. Neighbors behind the Davises, and I'll make it brief, but yeah, most mornings when street cleaning is happening, I see Ted on our street sort of shuffling cars while I'm out there doing the same. So just want to say I understand it's a struggle having multiple cars, family stairs to go up and down. I'm there with you, so.
Thank you. Any other proponents? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Would the ward councilor wish to come up and speak?
Joanne McKenna, Ward 1 Councilor. There's a couple of things. So Ed called me about a month and a half ago, and he said, I want to put a driveway in front of my house. And he said, can you come up and look at it? So I said, okay. So I went up to look at it, and I said, I called him, I looked at it, I called him, and I said, you can put a driveway there. You have plenty of room. So since then, I found out that from neighbors and from, I called site plan review, I called Frank Stringy, that he wants to put a garage, a 3-car garage. He wants to take up the whole from lot line to lot line. He wants to, okay, what is it?
It's 30 feet.
Okay.
The lot line's 50, so I actually laid it out so you can park.
Okay, it's my time. So anyways, I found out he's asking for 4 variances, okay? I talked to the neighbors, and it's been brought to my attention from Airbnb and short rental department that he's running an illegal Airbnb on the 3rd floor. He wants the parking for the Airbnb, and that he just got, supposedly he just got issued a cease and desist today. So I don't know if I'm not making this up, this is what I've been told. You know, those garages on Endicott Ave, we just looked it up. They started in 2011, and some of them have been there for 100 years. Okay, so if you're going to do that, then the whole street should do that. But I understand, I heard you're a terrific guy, but we have to follow the rules in Revere, and you're a terrific friend, but we have to follow the rules in Revere. And if you're running an Airbnb, illegal Airbnb, and I wrote the ordinance for the Airbnbs, you have to register it, and you have to have adequate parking. So that's where I am, you know. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other opponents? Anyone opposed? Please step up to the microphone, press the red button, state your name and address for the record.
Vinnie Massoni, 251 Endicott, 31 years. He is definitely, I sympathize with him on the parking because we're all struggling. We've been here, last year we got our resident parking 24/7. But he is doing an Airbnb and he's inviting people into the neighborhood. We're trying to just get places for us to park. So I'm thinking a garage, just gonna be a place to put cars in, close the door. So I'm totally against it. That's it.
Thank you. Any other opponents? Anyone else?
Hi, Lorraine Rossi from 221 Endicott Ave. My mom actually did write a letter. She's here. She asked me to speak on her behalf. If you read the letter, everybody here has parking issues. I grew up on Endicott Ave. There's always been parking issues. And I feel for them. Obviously, they have little kids. I lived at Endicott Ave when I had a little kid. I was little on Endicott Ave. We all get it. We have issues at 221 Endicott that are beyond parking with this garage. Ever since they renovated that house and they put the deck.
Ma'am, we're only the zoning board of appeals, so you can speak on the topic that we
Well,
have
it
to.
is. This is. So
Okay.
what my point is, in doing this, it's now going to, when it was initially renovated, it changed the topography of that soil, so we now have runoff. If they start doing that again, at some point in the winter, my mom couldn't even get out of her side door, and we did send some pictures. If they redo that and send the water running around the two sides of that garage, she's gonna be in an igloo for the winter, and it's going to be impossible for her to get out without somehow being able to have the water redirect someplace. I get that they want a garage, but what they're saying is 5 feet from my mom's property line and 1 foot on the other side of the property line. That's huge, and it's huge for us because of the water issues, as well as the parking, but everybody's already addressed the parking, so I don't think we need to revisit that.
Okay, it's not 1 foot on the other side, just for your correction. It's not 1 foot.
Oh, I
But
looked
it's
at.
5.6 on, 1.6 on your side, that's
Yes,
correct.
thanks.
Okay. Anyone else wish to speak? Any other opponents?
Hi, my name is Ali Mattiotto, and I just wanted to say that.
Your address, please.
247 Endicott Ave.
Thank you.
My hubby and I moved to Revere back in 2016, and I love the little neighborhood that we live in, Beachmont, and it seems like more and more of the green spaces are disappearing, and wondering if there's even going to be a tree left sometimes. So I too empathize and am completely have the utmost compassion regarding the parking, because I know it's really difficult, but I just like to see preserved any green space left that we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other opponents? Nope. Press the button just once and leave it on. Thank you.
Yes. My name's Mary Beth de Blasi. I own 237 Endicott Avenue. It's a large piece of property 2 doors down from Mr. Davis. Does not have any parking, so I understand the struggle. I also live at 240 Bellingham Avenue, which is sort of directly behind. So I wanted to open with that I like Ed, and I understand that he wants to improve his property, but I have concerns, and I feel that he's operating a business that profits from short-term rentals, and if that wasn't the case, I'd be more sympathetic to this request. To me, this situation doesn't represent a hardship for a family in need of parking. It caters to a commercial interest that places a burden on our streets and to our sense of community. He's exclusively renting the 3rd floor. It has a very, very high turnover. He's a super host. He advertises in Canada and the US. He has 4 guests with a 4-day minimum. And we're already feeling the strain of increased vehicle congestion all the way to the south. All of us have come before you guys a year ago without knowing that this was an Airbnb. We expressed our need for resident parking 24/7. It was granted. We got a small reprieve. And then ever since there was a change to the stickers, it sort of has come back to haunt us. Again, I like Ed, I like his family, I really like his cat, but we don't want to lose green space in our sense of community to support his business. So we feel that zoning laws were established to protect our neighborhoods, and we ask the board to not reward vice and punish virtue. And maybe he can change his design or redesign his business. Thank you.
Are there any other opponents? Please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. The microphone is on.
Mark Baranco, 230 Bellingham. For the issues raised with the parking and the B&B situation, which I know has been going on for a while. So just on the face of it, I mean, if this is happening without people knowing, but I know it's a fact, I've seen the advertisement. And for that issue in the parking, I'm an opponent.
Thank you. Are there any other opponents? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any members wish to speak? I just want to make it clear that if this is voted down, you cannot come back to the Board of Appeals for 2 years. If you want to go back to the drawing table and continue or withdraw without prejudice, that's something you can do. But once we vote on denying this, you do not have the right to go back and reapply for this for 2 years.
Yeah, I'd like to go back.
If you step up to the microphone and speak. So it can be withdrawn without prejudice, and then you could then come back if you want to do a 2-car or meet with the neighbors, try to deal with this properly. That's something you can do. If we vote to deny this tonight, then you'd have to have substantial changes to go to the planning board and then come back to us.
Okay, yeah, I'll withdraw and come back.
So there's a motion to withdraw without prejudice. A roll call, please.
Shall the zoning board of appeals allow the applicant to withdraw his application for 225 Endicott Avenue? Mr. Lemonna? Yes. Yes, Mr. Lopes? Yes, Mr. O'Brien? Yes, Mr. Pelton? Yes, and Chairman Tucker?
Yes.
Yes, the application has been withdrawn without prejudice.
Thank you.
Next application is A2511 on the application of Patricia Romano, 41 Stevens Street, Revere, Mass., requesting a couple of variances to enable the appellant to construct a duplex dwelling on lots 617 to 619 Keeney Street. Minimum rear yard setback and principal building coverage requirement.
Good evening, Council.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Joseph Catogio, 1 Sprague Street, Revere, representing the applicant's Romano Family Trust. I'm here tonight on behalf of Mr. Richard Salvo, who is the application creator and designer of the plans here. Mr. Salvo was unavailable tonight, and he asked that I step in for him and at least present the information that he's provided. The applicant tonight is petitioning to construct a duplex-style, 2-family residential home on 3 lots, which consist of a total of 6,563 square feet. These are RB lots that are presently vacant and provide a collective total of 75 feet of frontage on Keeney Street, which is fully serviced by all required utilities. The lots even have an existing curb cut that's in place. What the lots need is a variance for depth. The lots up and down Keeney Street and all through the adjoining streets off of Malden Street in this area were created back in September of 1918, a little before the revised zoning ordinances. Back then, in order to maximize the land, the lots were sliced directly down the middle between Keeney Street and Pemberton, which created, and then sliced thin horizontally to create numerous lots consisting of only 2,187 square feet. These are 3 such lots. However, in order to obtain a reasonable and realistic best use, the proposed construction will need to provide for a rear yard 23 feet deep and lot coverage, which is 33% instead of the required 30%. This is proposed and designed to allow all of the other setbacks, including front yard and side yard, to be met, so that the house facing the street and the adjoining neighbors on the sides will meet the required setbacks. It is this irregular shape of these lots that which were created 100 years ago, which create the present-day hardship which the applicants are seeking relief from. The proposed dwelling will provide required off-street parking, and I believe the design and residential use will enhance the immediate neighborhood with the removal of the vacant lot, which I understand has been a little bit of an eyesore over the years. 2 family homes are allowed within the RB district, and the proposal lies directly within the intent of the zoning ordinances. The applicant will fully comply with all the requirements of the planning board and any other authority that's included in this application. The applicants are here. The builder is here. Again, Mr. Salvo is not. So we hope that we can answer any questions the board might have, and we would ask that you would vote favorably on this application.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any proponents? Anyone in favor?
Nick Romano, 41 Stephen Street. So I lived in Revere my whole life. I'm going to be the one who's going to be residing in one of these units. Housing, as you know, has been really difficult for people to afford a place to live. I'm fortunate enough that I can move here and stay in Revere, and also create housing for someone else to grow up in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other proponents? Just for the record, I did speak to the ward councilor. There was no opposition. He's in favor. Are there any other proponents? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Anyone opposed? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any members wish to speak?
Yeah, I'd like
Then I
to
would
make
ask for
a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. And with the conditions, standard conditions.
Standard conditions of the ZBA are as follows. If the rights authorized by this variance are not exercised within 1 year of the date of the grant of this variance, the right shall lapse. This variance shall not be valid until the appellant has recorded this variance and plan in the Suffolk County Registry of Deeds and submits document recording numbers and dates to the city clerk and building inspector of the city of Revere, and the appellant must receive site plan review approval prior to applying for a building permit. Shall the Zoning Board of Appeals grant the relief requested, subject to those conditions? Mr. Lemonna? Yes. Yes. Mr. Lopes? Yes. Mr. O'Brien? Yes. Yes. Mr. Pelton? Yes. And Chairman Tucker?
Yes.
Yes, the variance has been granted, subject to those conditions. Next application is A2512, Rachel Fuchs, 144R Highland Ave, Malden, Mass., requesting variances with regard to minimum rear yard setback of 20 feet to enable the appellant to construct a 15.7-foot by 16.7-foot single-story addition at 105 Eustis Street.
Good afternoon.
Hi, my name is Cindy Molina. I'm at 105 Eustis Street in Revere.
And you're representing the applicant?
Yes, my husband, Jorge Coronado.
Okay. Okay. I think the application speaks for itself. Do you wish to add anything, or?
Yes. I just wanted to show you, this is my 3-year-old son. His name is Liam, who has level 3 autism, which is severe autism, which means he is nonverbal. He will never say, "Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you." Mom and Dad will do anything that they possibly can for our little boy to have the space that he needs, to have a sensory play, whatever he needs to be okay and feel safe. My husband and I right now, we sleep in the dining room of our home because we have a really big family. We want to convert that dining room into our son's playroom, sensory room. So that's why we are requesting to do a master bedroom for my husband and I, just to have some privacy. It's really difficult when we have a special needs child. We have 2 kids. It was never our intention to, maybe bother anybody with this. We just simply thought, since the pre-existing garage already extends the required setbacks, that it wouldn't be a really big issue to just extend the home a little bit more.
Seeing that it's a public hearing, I do have to ask if there's any proponents, anyone in favor? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Anyone opposed? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any members wish to speak?
I think the application speaks for itself. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
A motion to approve with the standard conditions?
Standard conditions of the ZBA are as follows. If the rights authorized by this variance are not exercised within 1 year of the date of the grant of this variance, the right shall lapse. This variance shall not be valid until the appellant has recorded this variance and plan in the Suffolk County Registry of Deeds and submits document recording numbers and dates to the city clerk and building inspector of the city of Revere. And the appellant must receive site plan review approval prior to applying for a building permit. Shall the Zoning Board of Appeals grant the relief requested subject to those conditions? Mr. Lemonna? Yes. Mr. Lopes? Yes. Mr. O'Brien? Yes. Mr. Pelton? Yes. And Chairman Tucker? Yes, the variance has been granted, subject to those conditions.
1 minute recess, please.
Next application is A2513 on the application of Michael Trapullo, 87 Jones Road, requesting the following variances to enable the appellant to construct a carport at 87 Jones Road, minimum side yard setback and minimum front yard setback.
Is the applicant present? Please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Michael Trapula, 87 Jones Road.
Do you wish to add anything to your application, or it speaks for itself?
It speaks for itself, I believe. Not looking for a variance on setback because, we're very tight to each other, so it is very limited room.
You are looking for a variance of setback, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Alrighty. Seeing that this is a public hearing, are there any proponents? Anyone in favor? Proponents, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Hello everyone, I'm living in the 84 Jones Road, West Drive, opposed the tree with Mike. He is a very nice people. He helped all the neighbor around. He have a very rich knowledge of the construction. So I see the carpool is built very nice. I don't see any problem with that. So we are as the neighbor. I have been with the neighbor with her for 4 years. Help everybody. So I will support the carpool right there.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other proponents? Anyone in favor? Seeing and hearing none.
Mohammed Mijad, 86 Jones Road, just facing his house. He did very, very good job, and the value of this would be helping us, because when he covered this, it looked better, much better.
Okay. Any other proponents? But
Can I ask a question to the owner?
we're going to ask a question, right, the public hearing. Any other proponents? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents? Joanne, if you're the ward councilor?
Joanne McKenna, Ward 1 Counselor. I just talked to the neighbor next door that was getting the runoff of the water. She does not want to speak. So she says, I guess he fixed the water runoff. He put some sort of drainage, so she's not getting any water, so she has no problem with it now. So that's,
Okay, is there any other opponents? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. I have several questions, but if the members wish to have questions, please go right
I have
ahead.
a question. Is this already constructed, or are you about to construct this? Because I drove by and it seems like it's already constructed.
That's what I was going to ask.
You have to step up to the microphone. There is a cease and desist on this, just for clarification. No, it's on already. Anyone else wish to speak?
Okay, so over the past decade while I've lived here, every winter, I would temporarily cover the whole driveway with tarps and structures. I own a lot of vehicles, and to protect them during seasons, I would always string up tarps and, just things to keep them protected for the winter. And this particular time, I had some scrap material, and I put something up slightly more substantial just to protect, again, the investment in which I made, which was, again, almost the same value as the house when I purchased it. So I apologize for my, not following proper procedure. So.
Okay, seeing that are you a contractor or you're a supplier for steel or something, right? What's your profession?
So I'm a union iron worker. I have,
Okay.
for the past 30-plus years, have been building in this,
Okay.
area.
I kind of figured that when you have a steel beam going down the length of the property, you
It's
have
actually-
to be something.
They're channels and angles is what do it. So, and it's very respectfully done and very neat without any, again, I do apologize. I apologize to the neighbor for the runoff. It was done at the end of the season hastily to protect my vehicles. I do apologize. So.
Okay, so there's no plans at all for this? Did you make plans for this?
There are. There should be all.
All right, but did you submit plans to the building department?
Yes, I did. There are
And they
plans.
then put a cease and desist because it was already built?
They then said that I needed to get a setback variance to proceed with the permit. So there's drawings, there's site plans, certified site drawings.
Okay, but no structural plans with
Yeah,
all?
there's a structural drawing for it also, yep.
Now, I got a question, Mike. Now, I don't think anybody in the building department's gonna sign off on this until the structural engineer looks at it.
So the original engineer and structural designer of the house actually has these drawings. I actually expected them prior to this meeting, but like everyone else in construction, he's backlogged and he's trying to get it out to me as soon as possible. He also is the original designer and engineer of record for when the house was built 12 years ago. And again, even back then, it was a substantial amount of structural engineering that had to be done prior to any building.
Because they won't sign off on it until they get that stamp.
Again, the drawings are already detailed. He's just waiting to review and calculate. I believe it should have been in my inbox today, but I didn't see it. I will pass that on as soon as I have it.
I'd like to make a motion to continue this until we get the structural drawings, and then we can consult with the building department, because there is a cease and desist. I wouldn't feel comfortable on voting on this without having the knowledge in front of us. So there's a motion to
month?
continue. I would ask for a roll call, please.
Shall the zoning board of appeals continue this matter to its next June meeting? Mr. Lemonna? Yes. Yes, Mr. Lopes? Yes, Mr. O'Brien? Yes, Mr. Pelton? Yes, and Chairman Tucker?
Yes.
Yes, the continuance has been granted.
That June meeting will be, what, the 25th?
The-
Is it?
Let me just,
And so, understood.
It will be June 25th at 5 PM. Having no further business, motion to adjourn? Thank you.